What's up, movie fans and Netflix bingers? This is the Bros Who Binge podcast. My name is Adam Schubert, and as always, I'm joined by Lyndon Burton. Lyndon, we've had a lot of news in our respectable, genres that we like to enjoy, and we also had the Emmys this week, so there's a lot to talk about. How are you feeling?
I'm doing well, man. Pretty excited. My shout out to Regina King, shout out to Yahya Abdul-Mateen. Just a super, super dope Emmys. I'm proud of everybody who won. At least the people that I was rooting for won. Felt good. Got a lot of good news this week. And a good thing, probably won't. Fingers crossed, even though it happens every week, something major doesn't drop tomorrow because the major thing dropped today. The WandaVision trailer, which we will talk about in the show. But hopefully nothing drops. Also, we got a good movie to talk about today with Devil All the well, let me not say good. Let me just say weird.
We have a movie.
A very weird piece of art that we have to review today. I don't even know if it had a through line. I don't even know.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. There were times where my girlfriend's asked me, she's like, is this the movie? Or where, what didn't
I don't know.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, man, it's weird. But shout out to Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson. They still acted their ass off. But then we got to talk The Boys today. Then we got to talk Lovecraft. Lovecraft took us to South Korea this week. Interesting.
Yeah, I was kind of interested in that because you never really see a lot of takes on with the Korean War. Barely any.
I thought that was World War because that was in 1950. Isn't that
No. World War II ended in 1945.
Oh, damn. Well, that's a place that was 1950 for sure.
Yeah, it was Korean War.
Oh, okay, real.
For
all
sure.
right, bet. I guess I was tripping. I thought that was
because that was South Korea.
I thought that was still the World War II shit era. Okay.
Yes, Korean War went from 1950 to 1953.
Okay, bet. Oh yeah, you're right. All right, lit. Damn, didn't know that. I thought that was World War II remnants, 19 because they started at 45, but no, they
well,
did,
they mentioned Japanese people. So
yeah, they did, and they said the Japanese people took over their. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're getting way too into the weeds about this with Lovecraft. We're gonna dive into all that later. But a lot of good stuff. I know Star Wars are happy, man. We finally got our first look at The Mandalorian season 2, even though there's word around town that Pedro Pascal and Filoni and Favreau got into a beef, and he might not have been in the suit this whole season.
Well, the thing about The Mandalorian is, who knows? You can't.
It might not be. What if it's not his voice? Because they said there's beef, there's real beef.
I don't know.
Or do you not believe Grace Randolph?
I don't really.
I don't mind if you don't believe her, because a lot of I very rarely believe her. I just want to bring that up.
A lot of the people in the Star Wars Twitter space have been this BS.
All right, bet.
They're like this not real.
Bet. I don't look. Like I said, I don't believe Grace Randolph either.
If anything, Gina Carano is getting killed off. That's
gonna happen. She got canceled this past weekend. She was wild, bro. Why? Why was she doing any of that this weekend? Her career's booming, and then now you just want to just shit on people. Yeah,
no. That's where a lot of people are saying that Pedro couldn't have beef with the showrunners because he's been out front being oh, well, what Gina Carano says isn't true. It's not what people who represent the Mandalorian stand with and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's where I've been feeling well, I don't think Pedro Pascal would just be defending, or I don't feel like he would get into this beef at all if he didn't give a shit about the Mandalorian.
Yeah, okay, real for sure. Well, all right, bet then. Well, if you're ready, Shuby, we can get started because that just goes into our first topic.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get started. So, yeah, the Mandalorian trailer. First little bit of news is that Tamara Morrison's agency confirms that he is playing Boba Fett. That's a little bit of rumor that I do trust.
Yeah,
because at this point we do know that Cobb Vanth will be played by what's
Timothy
his name?
Olyphant,
Timothy Olyphant. And
the guy who plays the sheriff in all of his roles.
And so this is where, like, I'm kind of expecting that even if there is the rumors that Pedro Pascal walked off or they don't have him for some episodes or whatever, I feel like there's going to be a whole episode that's going to have nothing to do with him. Like, I feel like there's going to be an entire episode that's going to be Tamora Morrison getting his armor back from Timothy Olyphant. And it's going to have nothing to do with any of it. It may have to do with side characters setting up.
All right, yeah, I can believe it. Look, I'm not mad at that prediction. I actually like that prediction. I think, like, if anything, I can see them having 2 episodes without him because, like, we got a lot of new characters this arc. They mentioned for the trailer to straight up say you got to search for the Jedi. That tells me where we're going this season. That tells me what I need to know. The Ahsoka Tano's happening. All of that shit's going down. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear. Like, granted, we won't see this, but like with those fighters, those TIE fighters, if that's not Gina Carano and oh boy, we might go to like a little Leia place or like deal with some shit like that. But like we won't see or anything. We might just hear like, yo, General Leia wants to talk to you, and like he might not go through with it or some shit along those lines. But
yeah, definitely the scene with his ship and the X-wings. You know that there's going to be like that new Republic or new whatever. We're going to find out what's going on post Empire for sure. At least knowing that we're going to have to deal with the Jedi. I'm thinking that maybe that Sasha Banks hooded figure has to do with the other side, maybe like a Night Sister or some kind of remnants of a dark side out there that is out to get him. So we know that we're going to see Ahsoka at some point. Maybe she has a connection to like this new government, or like maybe she's still rogue. Like, I don't know. We're gonna find all that out.
There's a lot of things they could hide beef with. There's a lot.
Sure.
They don't need him this much this season. Granted, and if they recast him, just cast Lewis Tanner, Henry Golden. Let's keep this shit pushing. Like, let's keep this shit pushing. Put them in the suit. It don't matter. It doesn't matter who's in that fucking suit. We just need someone for voiceover. And honestly, we can go call Sam Witwer and get his best Mandalorian impression.
Shoot, he'll do it. Why not? He'll do anything for Filoni.
But I mean that trailer looked good. I mean, it didn't show us anything. It really didn't. We got to see the homing missiles again.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite scene in the whole thing, with like Baby Yoda pressing the button to like close himself in. That's like the Star Wars humor that you expect. Disney wants to throw in this humor, and a lot of people get angry at the Marvel humor. But I feel like Filoni's done a good job of bringing the original trilogy humor into this Mandalorian series. So,
he's the protege, man.
Prank phone call BS, general hugs. Your mom was trying to call you on the phone, but BS comedy.
Yeah, no, look,
you know what I'm saying?
He's the whatchamacallit. He's the protege to Lucas. Like, he spent time with Lucas. If anybody gets what Lucas wanted to do and what he intended, it's Filoni. So,
Yeah, the only thing I'm concerned about, and luckily in the trailer we didn't see a lot of what's going to be, these connections that we're talking about. I'm worried it's going to get like too inside baseball for like the normal Disney Plus fan that's watched the first season of The Mandalorian, because besides the Darksaber, which they don't really talk about, they just show, it's pretty much, you could just watch that series and not know anything about Star Wars and like be able to follow.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that like what they're gonna do here is like make it cater too much to the Star Wars fan, that like the normal fan won't be able to understand it. But I mean, screw them. So sorry.
That's gonna happen this season. Like, people are gonna be like, who's that orange blue girl? And they're gonna be like, go watch the animated series. And people aren't gonna do that. But I mean, it cross promotes their content, and it makes you use Disney Plus, because like for all the people who don't know who Ahsoka Tano and whatever other characters they include, there's Clone Wars, there's Rebels, there's so much you can watch. You can watch.
Well, and since it comes out week to week, like, and is all on Disney Plus, like, I think it's a little bit easier for you to like expect the casual fan to do that, because you're like, hey, we're not telling you to go watch something where you're gonna have to go seek it out. Like, it's here.
Yeah, no, I could see it happening. But that's all I really got on that. I'm excited. October's coming soon. Pretty soon we're gonna have a full stack of Mandalorian Lovecraft and The Boys, which will be peak
I think
BrosWhoBinge content.
it'll be finishing out when it's starting.
Yeah, no,
sure, so.
we'll have 1 week of it, one like jam-packed week.
Yeah, but the other rumor that's been going around is that Tom Hardy is supposed to be Bond after Craig. There hasn't been any like real legit confirmations to
None.
this, but I've
But-
seen a lot of people talking about it.
But from what I'm hearing, they were supposed to make this announcement in November. Like, the movie was supposed to be out in April, and they were going to make the announcement in November of this year. So,
Yeah.
like, I could see this happening. The only thing that makes me question it, the only thing is Tom Hardy's a very similar Bond to Daniel Craig. They're almost a continuation of one another. If not, Tom Hardy's more dark in brawlery than Craig. I thought they were going to go more suave like Henry Cavill or more gadgety, but if they're going
get back to the Pierce Brosnan era kind of deal.
or even the Sean Connery era.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know like just more gadgety, more cue him meeting, but if they're going to go the Tom Hardy route, that's just Daniel Craig continued, but in my opinion darker. And I don't dislike that,
Well, it seems like I think they're taking a page out of like what worked recently, and I think people are more so fans of the Daniel Craig era than they are in some of the more in between that and Connery.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that they want to try and play off of that. It all kind of depends, in my opinion, how this one goes, because you had 2 good ones, 2 bad ones. This is like the last film to kind of close it all out. I don't know. At this point, my question is, do we really even need more Bond?
That's a good question. I'll answer that in a second, but I will say this. The Daniel Craig era has been the most popular Bond era since Connery. Like you said, it wasn't considered like the Timothy Dalton, like maybe not Roger Moore, but Timothy Dalton and all those guys in between were seen as like B-roll action films. It wasn't like the prestige James Bond, which we feel like today with Daniel Craig. And I don't even think Pierce Brosnan, Halle Berry was in it. I think that was pretty.
Well, I think they were high-level Bonds, but like when it comes to quality of movie, like
they were
Casino Royale is like.
Oh yeah, no, Casino Royale is like amazing.
Casino Royale is like a top-tier all-time movie kind of thing.
Skyfall is amazing too.
We're like Die Another Day and GoldenEye and stuff like that. They're like good action movies, but they're not. It's like it's kind of like Lara Croft's Tomb Raider. That's like how I always put those movies together. It's like they were good action movies like in the time that we were living in, but like they weren't all-time great films or something like that.
No, I agree. And look, to answer your question, do we need Bond? I'm where I'm at with that. I need more protagonists. I need more protagonists than in my guy what's his name? Fuck, why am I blanking on
what you talking about? John David Washington, Christopher Nolan?
He's the protagonist, but like what's my boy's name? What's
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, what's his name in that movie? Isn't it like Klein or like it's something, whatever his name is in there.
I don't remember.
I don't remember his name either, but like I need more missions with those 2 homies before I need Bond. Like I don't care too much. Like give me some more Tenet sequels. That's what I want. Neil, got it.
Neil.
Didn't even have to look it up. I was about to look it up. Neil. Need some more missions with the protagonist and Neil. But I mean, I'm always down for a good Bond if it's good. Like I enjoy those movies, but I must say I enjoy those movies how they're made now more so than how they were made in the past. Like those movies are really good as like what you're saying, like Casino Royale style, like take these movies super serious. And Tom Hardy does that. Tom Hardy allows for that to happen.
This newest one's gonna be interesting because you got a lot of star power. You got Daniel Craig, Ana de Armas.
Love seeing her in it.
Rami Malek.
Yeah, so, Rami's the villain, and Christoph Waltz makes an appearance.
Yeah, and the one thing I saw on Twitter that was pretty interesting, they were like, picture this: Tom Hardy, James Bond, Christopher Nolan, Robert Pattinson, and the villain.
That'd be lit, but I don't think Nolan will ever do a Bond because they didn't let him do it when he wanted, and he's done his. But I don't think he'll do it. I really don't. I don't buy it.
This is an actor that he's worked with before.
That's true.
So like maybe there's like a way that they can get that to happen.
Look,
I'm more so I'm interested in the idea of Robert Pattinson coming in and playing a villain, because especially when we talk about the movie that we watch this week, Devil All the Time, our Pats can be dark and mean and downright despicable.
No, I
So
agree. Look, I'm down for it.
I'd be willing to see him be a Bond villain.
I'm down. Throw John David as the villain. I'm down for that too. Shit, I'm down for anything if Nolan's taking over Bond. But let's get to some serious shit. Like, and I stuck out my comic book. I've increased my comic book knowledge and lore over the weekend. I've increased my nerddom. I'm about halfway through with Dune. I understand where that movie's going. I'm hyped now. But
Okay.
I increased my comic lore. This is huge. So
this is huge.
This has big ramifications for the future of the MCU. Jonathan Majors has been tapped for the leads of the next Ant-Man movie role. He's going to play the supervillain, Kang the Conqueror. Now, I know on the outside, it's like, Ant-Man, how does that make sense? Well, quantum realm, Ant-Man's the time traveler. Kang's a time traveler. Kang also has to deal with the Young Avengers, which I believe Ant-Man is going to set up. We see through all these different MCU shows that are coming out. WandaVision, which we're going to talk about. We got Wiccan and Speed. Hawkeye, which is coming out. We got Kate Bishop. I believe in Falcon Winter Soldier, we're either going to get American Patriot, which is the black Captain America, but I don't think so. I think they're going to give us a America Chavez, which is the Latino girl who's like a Captain America, since we have Falcon already. I think that's the route they're going to go with it. And then you get Cassie Lang, who is the young Yellow Jacket, and that's the new Avengers. But they're missing one person from that team, Iron Lad, which is Kang the Conqueror from the past as a child before he becomes Kang the Conqueror. He becomes Iron Lad. So that means we're going to get a black Iron Lad, as well as Kang the Conqueror's name, and Iron Lad's name is Nathaniel Richards, the ancestor to Reed Richards, which means Reed Richards will be an African-American or mixed, some form of POC character.
Well, I mean, he could still be white. And then, and what's it? Is it Sue Storm's son?
No. It's Nathaniel Richards, Kang the Conqueror, is Reed Richards' great grand. That's why that's why I'm saying that. It's not his son. Like, it's not his son. It's not. I think the name's Nate. I might have said Nate Richards, and that might be the son's name. It's something like that. It's not. That's not his name. Whatever Kang the Conqueror's young name is, it's something Richards. I think it's Nathaniel.
That's what I saw.
Yeah, it's Nathaniel. Okay. But yeah, so he is like his ancestor, like his great grandfather.
Gotcha.
That's why I said he's either gonna be mixed or black. Like, he's gonna be one of those. So this is major
implications for like what we're gonna see in a Fantastic Four casting. So that's pretty major.
And Young Avengers. This we can also get Kang to come back as because he does the Contest of Champions, where he puts all the Avengers against each other. Kang is this villain that I see not as a Thanos, where it's building up to this one final battle. Kang's a villain that I see he's gonna have his hand into multiple things at multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he is kind of gonna be like, I feel like Galactus is gonna be the Thanos villain.
I can see that.
Or in Eternals. Or Doom. But I mean, I feel like we're so far away from getting to the Fantastic Four. I mean, we're like years, but 5 years at least.
This is the beginning of it, though. This 1000% is the beginning of it.
Yes. I mean, I feel like this is definitely going to get the ball rolling for sure. And I agree that I think Jonathan Majors getting this role has him going to appear. He's going to be probably in an Avengers movie down the line. Maybe even in this Doctor Strange. I don't know.
Well, look, he's definitely going to be in Ant-Man. He's going to be in Young Avengers because he's always chasing Iron Lad, which is his younger self. He's going to be in Fantastic Four. And I think, like you said, he's going to be in an Avengers villain at some point as well. Jonathan Majors, this is huge for him, brother. Going from Lovecraft to MCU breaks my fucking heart. Breaks my heart as a DC stan to see HBO and Warner Brothers let that brother walk. Shame on you. But let me collect myself, calm myself down, because we got another young brother that just made an amazing movie who I'm hearing, even Christopher Nolan said he should be Green Lantern. We didn't talk about that. But if CN said this man should be Green Lantern and Jonathan and JD Dubs was like, I'd do it. So like, Jonathan Majors, you can go be Kang, brother. I'm cool with it. I got JD Dubs. But, like I said.
From seeing him doing what he's done previously, it's very hard for me to consider him being like this big bad.
A villain,
because he's been the hero so many times.
But he's a complex character. That's what this guy is. And that's what and funny enough, with this episode right here of Lovecraft, we see Tick is this he's not this just good guy. He's this complex character that had to kill that. And like, that's what Kang is. Kang gets corrupted over time and becomes this complex character to where he develops a god complex, but it's through multiple wars and through going through time, seeing the evils of humanity, he becomes this anti-hero villain. So it's going to be a complex character if they do it right. Big kudos to Jonathan Majors, man. This is huge for him. But like I said,
this is giant.
Huge implications for the MCU, giving us Iron Lad, the Iron Man replacement, and giving us our Reed Richards, giving us a little insights on our Fantastic Four. But if Reed Richards is black, I'm guaranteeing Sue Storm's a white lady, and Johnny's gonna be a white dude. Now the thing might be Latino, the thing may be Asian. They might go that route with it, but we're gonna see probably a multicultural Fantastic Four.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that with Jonathan Majors cast of this, we'll definitely get like what you're saying, like Black Mr. Fantastic. For all the other ones we don't know, it's so far down the line.
It's too far down, but that's the one you can. That's the one you can predict.
Because, you can almost bank that with this.
Like I said, either black or mixed. He might be like a super light-skinned guy because of through the generations, but it's gonna be one of the two because when you cast Jonathan Majors as Kang, you set implications for your universe going forward.
Yeah. But I'm excited for that he's going to be in the Ant-Man franchise. It gives me a little bit of hope after Ant-Man and the Wasp that we're going to get a good one.
Ant-Man 3, is that basically just like Ant-Man 3 Young Avengers? Like, what's that movie going to be?
I don't know. Like, it's definitely, and obviously it's going to deal with time travel.
But what if it's a movie where no one wins? Like, what if that's the movie where we get not only Cassie Lang as Yellow Jacket or Ant-Man, but what if that's the movie where we see young Kang the Conqueror and get Iron Lad? Like, what if it's a movie where no one wins? Like, it's just time travel shenanigans.
I could see it being time travel. It's going to be comedic, which is my thing. So, like, that was my thing. I was like, you're going to bring in this
I think that might change the tone.
Villain.
That might change the tone of it.
How is the tone going to be if you're going to bring in Kang the Conqueror to be the villain in an Ant-Man movie? Like, this is not going to be Hardy Har Paul Rudd. Like,
no, I don't think so. I think we're going to see.
You're not going to see his little side crew with T.I. Like, I mean,
no, they're not in this one. No, they're not in this one. You get Jonathan Majors as your big bad. You raise the stakes for Ant-Man, so gets me hyped for Ant-Man 3. But that's all I got on that. But we're staying in the MCU. We're not getting out. A lot of big MCU news dropped, but. Can we talk about why it dropped real quick? Just side note. Do you know why it dropped all this news? Because they were trying to cover up Chris Evans' Wang. Chris Evans they did 1,000%. They were trying to cover up his nude leaks. And a lot of like movie Twitter people were talking about that. They were like, Disney had to do this. Like Disney was trying to cover up those nude leaks. Like for a while, I didn't see anything about it. My timeline was covered with nerd shit. And then some women I follow were like, ooh, you got the tea? And I was like,
I mean, I heard about it.
It wasn't as big. But that's my thing. It wasn't that big because Marvel dropped a bunch of news. That's just a conspiracy theory I have.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, even if all of this wouldn't happen, I don't really think that would have been that big a deal. I mean, that stuff happens all the time. But
I don't know. Jennifer Lawrence was a big deal.
Well, and if we're calling it a spade, the reason DC dropped a whole bunch of shit months ago is because
of Ray Fisher.
Called out.
Yeah, no, we can talk about it all. That is facts. Like Ray Fisher's going in on Warner Brothers, but it's more so Jeff Johns, which breaks my heart because as a comic book fan, I'm a big Jeff Johns fan. But if he did Ray Fisher dirty, or we still don't know what happened. That's why I haven't commented on it yet. But like, damn, just Jeff Johns. I can see why he's no longer in the picture. Makes sense. Yeah. People thought he was just going to do his own thing, but like. Dude was being scandalous. Whatever he was doing, we don't know yet. So, but that is why both of them were dropping news. That is a fact.
Yes. So I guess if news gets dropped, someone did something sketchy somewhere. That's what you know.
Yeah. So but Tatiana Maslany is set to play the lead role of the upcoming She-Hulk series at Disney Plus. The series centers on a lawyer for lawyer Jennifer Walters, cousin of Bruce Banner, who inherits his Hulk powers after she receives blood transfusion from him. Unlike Bruce, whenever she hulks out, Jennifer is able to retain most of her personality, intelligence, and emotional control. It was announced earlier this week that Kat Coro had boarded She-Hulk as director and executive producer. She will direct the pilot and additional episodes of the series. Jessica Gao is writing the series and serving as executive producer and showrunner as well. Yes, for those who need to know, Jessica Walters. It's going to be interesting if they make Jennifer Walters She-Hulk the whole time, or if it's something she transforms in and out of. Normally in comic books, she's She-Hulk all the time, but she's a lawyer, which makes sense since we might not get Daredevil by the time Spider-Man 3 drops, because Peter Parker's going to need a lawyer.
He sure is.
So it might be Jennifer Walters. Again, Marvel doing amazing weaving this and knitting this together. But if I had to bet my money on it, I thought Daredevil was going to make an appearance in Spider-Man 3, but now I think it's going to just be Jennifer Walters, and they're going to save Daredevil for another time.
So Tatiana Maslany, she was in Perry Mason. You saw Perry Mason.
She was in Orphan Black, too. She was really good in Perry Mason, too.
All right, so you think that,
she can pull it off.
It's a good casting?
Yeah, I think it is. And also she looks like Mark Ruffalo. So that's another thing, because they're cousins. Like, they look very similar. They both have like olive tone complexion for white people. They're not just pale or anything. No, they look very similar. So I dig it, man. I dig all of this. So good for her. Good casting. Right. She was in Orphan Black as well, too. So she was good.
Yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of the stuff that she was in. So
she was damn good in Perry Mason. She was hella believable. But these are different roles. Like, Perry Mason's super serious.
Yeah, so the other thing in there, Jessica Gao being the showrunner. Jessica Gao, for people who don't know who she is, she's a writer on Rick and Morty, wrote Pickle Rick episode and some of the others. That's basically her main thing. She was also on Silicon Valley.
Both great comedies.
And then, did some stuff in her early years for Nickelodeon. So
Kat Coro has a good resume.
Kat Coro, we're going to talk about her again later on for a film that she's got going on. But she's been around. She's been around the block as well. So, they got some good. They got good people in this. Like, Kat Coro. I guess the one thing that she was in was she did Always Sunny and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Did you know that her husband is Billy Walsh from Entourage?
Kat Coro?
Yeah, his name is Reese Corio.
And
that's Billy Walsh, yo. That's my guy. Shout out to Reese Corio. Didn't know that, but I'm excited for the She-Hulk thing, man. It should be good.
Yeah, me too. I think it's gonna be pretty good. I like the people that they have behind it. This is a movie, right? Or is it a series?
It's a TV show.
That's right. Yeah, it's a series, and it's gonna be Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus. All of this is part of the Marvel shit.
So
which is leading to whatever they're gonna do.
I think I remember on the slate that they had this coming in like 2022.
But I think this is gonna get
forward. You think
this might get pushed forward, like, because the slate's moving? Because we're gonna get, which we're gonna talk about in a little bit. WandaVision drops in December. Falcon Winter Soldier got pushed back to 2021. I could see that being at the beginning of 2021, and then I could see us maybe either getting She-Hulk or Hawkeye. But I think She-Hulk's going to come before Hawkeye.
I think She-Hulk's before Hawkeye.
Yeah, I think She-Hulk's going to come before Hawkeye into 2021, early 2022. So the slate's getting pushed around, so it's going to be interesting to see. Because
it seems like with all the news that they have now, that they have the pieces to move forward. So as soon as I feel like they get the green light, they're just going to go ahead and start doing that.
They're filming WandaVision right now. They're finishing it up. That's why it's jumping forward. They got to wait on Falcon Winter Soldier because they got to go some places. So they can't do it all in L.A., so they got to figure that shit out. But that's why things are getting pushed around. But that's all I got on that.
All right, well, we were just talking about Kat Coro. Kat Coro also has a film that's now set to release on Valentine's Day 2020. It's a rom-com called... 2021, I'm sorry.
Got you.
It's a rom-com called Marry Me, and it has Jennifer Lopez starring as a musical superstar named Kat Valdez, who is one half of a sexy celebrity power couple who are about to wed before an audience of their fans in a ceremony that will be streamed across multiple platforms. But seconds before the ceremony, she learns that Bastien, her BF, has cheated on her with her assistant. And in retaliation and a moment of desperation, she pulls Owen Wilson, a random math teacher, from out of the crowd and agrees to marry him on stage instead. The film will then explore how two different people from worlds apart can bridge the gulf between them as other forces are trying to drive them apart. So
this could either be really good or really bad. Like there's no in between.
I think it's gonna be really bad, but I'm surprised that it's gonna be something that's in a theater. It sounds like a Netflix movie.
This is going to be interesting. Jennifer Lopez is trying to redeem her career post Hustlers, which was good, and maybe she's only tackling good stuff, but this sounds like it's going to either be really bad or really good.
It sounds like a typical Owen Wilson rom-com where he's just like this goofy guy or whatever.
But maybe it's the Owen Wilson
Wow.
songs. Maybe it's the Owen Wilson songs.
Give me a break.
We might see it. It might be possible. I'm going to give him a shot, We'll
but yeah,
see.
So I, in the mix of a whole bunch of comic book movie news, I wanted to throw this in here because it was a pretty crazy sounding deal with J-Lo getting J-Lo and Owen Wilson.
Interesting.
Right. But we got two trailers to talk about. The first one is Love and Monsters starring Dylan O'Brien.
Weird trailer.
Weird trailer.
Weird concept.
It was one of these
movie too.
Yeah, it was a pretty weird concept movie. Pretty much the concept is like the apocalypse is happening and like monsters have decided that they're going to take over Earth.
Yeah, that's why the apocalypse is happening. Earthlings went underground and he's trying to find the love of his life across the world. Weird to see that this is where Dylan O'Brien's going with his career now. Like, maybe this movie's going to be good, but like, I don't know. Like, Michael Rooker's in it. Like, weird vibes.
Yeah, Michael Rooker's in it. I mean, it doesn't look terrible.
It doesn't, but it doesn't look good.
Like, neither did Maze Runner and American Assassin. Neither of them look terrible either. You know what I'm saying?
American Assassin was pretty good. I gotta get.
Well, I'm not even saying that both of them are bad. I'm just saying like, but they're not like this when you say that this is what Dylan O'Brien is choosing to do, this is pretty much the hill that he's dying on.
Why is he doing this?
He's doing these middle of the road action movies that like people would see and might enjoy, but like at the end of the day, like
it's not
no one's
pushing
gonna be
the
saying,
needle.
"Oh yeah, Dylan O'Brien should be the next James Bond." Like
Yeah, no, I expected more of him after American Assassin. I thought he was just growing up, but this is like going backwards. To me,
yeah.
Whereas his buddy Logan Lerman's doing good work, doing good shit. Like Logan Lerman just was in Hunters, like he's doing prestige stuff. Whereas Dylan O'Brien, Love and Monsters, but this could be some Scott Pilgrim-esque shit. It could be good. Who knows?
Now, granted, we're trashing it a little bit, but if you watch the trailer, it doesn't look that bad.
It doesn't, but it just. This is where he's going with his career. Okay.
It almost looks like a more seriously toned Zombieland. Like,
I don't know.
I'll watch it. I don't know.
I just don't know if it's gonna be good.
But I just don't know if it's gonna be like something that I'm gonna come on here and recommend.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't think so. But
I would tell you to go check out the trailer and see what you think.
Yeah, let us know if you think Dylan O'Brien's next movie is gonna be good. Let us know on Twitter. But Schubert buried the lead like pretty far. So let's talk about this WandaVision trailer, man. A big acid trip. That's what I'm calling this TV show. Because that's what it is.
It does pretty much seem like a big ass trip. I know when we first were talking about WandaVision, like the whole thought process and like the main marketing was like them in this sitcom-esque
doing like
I Love
Brady
Lucy
Bunch,
kind of deal.
I Love Lucy, going through the different ones, yeah.
And like for a while, that's kind of seems like the vibe, like at the start of the trailer, and then you start seeing like the warp stuff happening, and you're like, whoa, what is this? And then like it gets to color, and you see like Vision. And all the, I just can't. It's hard. It's such a warped trailer to describe because like it's
like they start off first as like these lovers. I Love Lucy. They have the conversation with the 70 show's mom, and then she's like, "We gotta have kids." So then it goes to another sitcom style where we see Wiccan and Speed, who I mentioned. We see the two babies. I'm assuming they're gonna grow up. But to me, all of this seems like Wanda went crazy, went nuts because she lost Vision, and created her own universe inside of our universe. Or inside of the MCU universe. And this is like a little pocket dimension where people can go in because we're seeing people getting shot out. But I'm guessing Vision's alive again. And he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's like, yo, what's she doing? She wilding. But that's what it looks like, yo. It looks like Wanda's off her shit. Like Wanda is fucked up. That's what this shit looks like.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting series because we're gonna get like Wanda being like super fucked up, just like doing whatever. Like I almost feel like she's like low key part villain in
But
this series.
they say she's an antagonist for Doctor Strange. They say she's gonna be in Multiverse of Madness. It's like antagonist style, and this leads to that.
Sort of, yeah.
So
Yeah. So I mean, like I feel like the implications are going to be more than we thought it was at first, and saying that this is what we're going to get first. This is going to set the tone. So, as this being the first MCU series on Disney Plus,
they have to be confident in it to put it over Falcon Winter Soldier.
Well, and also, we were talking off air about, can we be confident in Disney Plus series? We've talked shit about that in the past, but what the Mandalorian's been able to do, and Mandalorian was, able to win Emmys tonight. So, they're not I feel like Disney is taking the properties, like I said, the properties that have their own little marks under the Disney Plus, like that is their own thing. Like, I mean, and even if you think about it, The Simpsons is on Disney Plus, so it's not like you can't have like a little bit of adult theme on some Disney Plus shows.
It just depends on whose banner it's under. Is it under the Disney banner? Is it under?
It's going to be under the MCU. It's Feige.
And I don't think Feige's putting out trash. I think Feige's putting out whatever he wants. Like he's doing what he wants, the tone he wants. He does not care because he has carte blanche because he's made billions for Disney. So whatever Feige wants, Feige's gonna get. So like you said, if it's a Disney thing under Disney Plus, expect childlike. If it's something else like Fox Searchlight, which is like their Fox banner where they make indie movies, or if it's like Star Wars or
Disney
Marvel,
or Pixar,
Yeah, like those are the different divisions. When you see the name of it, that's how you know if it's going to be childish or not. But nah, this looks good. I'm excited for this. Got a little Monica Rambeau sighting, the black lady who got flung out, who is from Captain Marvel, the little girl from Captain Marvel. It's going to be interesting to see if she has powers. Then we see the lady who's in Bad Moms as like the neighbor, looking all messed up and
crazy.
And Wanda's acid trip. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. It's going to be interesting to see. But this trailer's good. But I'm very curious because, like I said, I think this is all a product of Wanda's reality powers. And we see Vision's Mind Stone allow that lady to talk. And so it's going to be interesting to see how their powers clash and how Vision's going to get out of this because this looks like he's being held captive. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, dude. And so December is when that's coming out.
Yep, December 2020. So we'll get that then. But next up, the final bit of Marvel news. We got Adil El Arbi and Bilal Falal. Sorry if I pronounced any of these names wrong.
There's gonna be a lot of weird names, mispronouncing of names in this one.
I know. Who helmed this year's action throwback Bad Boys for Life are joining to direct episodes of Miss Marvel. Alongside them include Mira Menon, a TV vet known for directing episodes of The Punisher, Titans, and The Walking Dead, alongside indie feature films like Farrah Goes Bang. And finally, we have documentarian Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy joining the team, who won an Oscar for both Girl in the River, The Prince of Forgiveness, and Saving Face. Oh, Price of Forgiveness and Saving Face. Both of these works explored gendered violence in Pakistan. This is a fascinating team to assemble. So yeah, basically they're making the show Miss Marvel, which comes from head writer Bisha K. Ali. This is cool because she's also part of like this Young Avengers team, but more so like she's the liaison between the Young Avengers and the Big Avengers, like the Big Avengers team. Like she's on both teams, as well as this could be them going round to it in Humans.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be another series on Disney Plus. The names attached obviously play in well for this being the first Muslim superhero to appear on screen. I think that we're going to get some really serious stuff in this show. Like they are not getting bad directors to jump in and do this.
Nope, they're taking this serious, as they should. But like I said, I think this is going to give us more Inhuman shit. We're going to get more Inhuman shit because you got to remember, they're trying to do Illuminati. We reported, Daniel RPK said that, and Black Bolt's part of that. So, like, we could see, and and I just played this new Avengers game, which she's
a big part in it.
She's a big part of it, and the way she gets formed is through Terrigen gas, which comes from the Inhumans, and but see, this is why that TV show never made sense to me, because the way that Humans comes is such from a Marvel thing. By having the Eternals are an offshoot inside of humanity. When they come to Earth, the Eternals make offshoots of the X-Men, which are mutants, as well as Inhumans. So from the Eternals, you get these two groups made, which are evolutions of humans, just through different forms of DNA. Thus, we could see some shit with the Inhumans with Miss Marvel and all this. That's why COVID's kind of messing up their slate, because like we're supposed to have the Eternals now, which is leading up to some of this shit that we're about to get, which sets the
not now, but it's supposed to soon.
Soon, whereas Ant-Man sets the groundwork for Fantastic Four, Eternal sets the groundwork for this Inhumans and X-Men shit.
Which is crazy how like all this stuff is supposed to connect down the line. But yeah, I mean,
they're doing the damn thing.
They're doing the damn thing, that's for sure. So, you know, I didn't even know that about Eternals, like sending off the two offshoots. So like that's, so even Eternals is going to set up where we go with X-Men too. And, you know, we're hearing a lot of rumors about that as well. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time.
We've been said that Eternals brings the X-Men. When I found that out, I was like, oh, that's how they're doing it. And it's just going to be some shit.
Well, I knew that's what I was, but I didn't even realize that this is the whole deal with like the Inhumans as well.
Yeah.
You know,
it's happened both that way and through Terrigen gas, which like explodes and thus creates new humans. But I see it more so as that way because it's easier to explain. Like they hit away from Earth and then releasing Terrigen gas like kind of enhanced the gene in normal humans and it made new Inhumans grow, thus Miss Marvel, but having to force out the old Inhumans. So I could see it happen in multiple ways.
So Miss Marvel's a younger character, as you're saying.
Yeah, she can go anywhere between 15 to 18. She can go anywhere between that.
So she's a teenager.
Yeah, she's like Spider-Man.
Okay.
So that's what they're going for that. But that's
what's her main power?
She can stretch her stretch her hand like super big. She can like stretch her. I don't know if she can stretch as much as Mr. Fantastic, but she's like Luffy. Like she can make big
rubber
fish.
Person.
Yeah, she's another rubber person. That's pretty much what she is. But next up, we got Disney will likely delay Black Widow. It was slated to open November 6th, but now it's not looking like that's going to happen. The studio is also looking for options to do with Soul. Soul was scheduled to release on November 20th, but it's looking like it's not going to happen. They may move it to Disney Plus, depending.
Which would be really interesting because, like, if you ask a lot of people who are thinking about what's going to be on the Oscars, up for the Oscars, a lot of people had Soul as not an animated feature for Oscar, like a feature Oscar. Mm-hmm. So, like, if Soul moves to Disney Plus, then you got to think that they're going to start making, it's like, you know, they're going to take Disney Plus more seriously like this. But I don't know a single person who's seen Mulan.
Me neither.
Like,
no one in my circle.
Like, certainly I've seen people talk about it.
But no one that like I know.
No one personally I know has seen Mulan is going to pay $30 to watch that movie.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening. And no one I follow, I think has seen it. Like I haven't seen like my movie community on Twitter. No one's hit me up like, "Yo, I've seen Mulan." Like people hit me up. They're like, "Yo, I saw Tenet. When you going?" People hit me up for that. Like I got tweeted at that. They were like, "Yo, we're ready for the Tenet review." Shout out to Tyler Peterson, but like nobody's hitting me up talking about Mulan. Nobody. So like, I don't know.
So that's why we haven't talked about it.
Yeah,
I'm not paying $30 for nothing that no one wants to talk about.
I told Schubert if he wants us to review it, he can spend $30. I'm not buying it. I refuse. I'm not buying that shit. I'll go watch Tenet again in theaters if you want. Like, I'll do that before I spend $30
for
on
sure.
Mulan. But
for sure.
Finally, did you see Shia LaBeouf doing his Fast Times at Ridgemont High reading?
Loved it.
Shia was wilding, bro. He didn't give a fuck. But he memorized all his lines. He was the only one that wasn't reading. He was in character. Funny enough.
That was method acting at his finest.
Yeah,
and good. What's his name? Sean Penn, who played the character,
was laughing his ass off.
Was there, and he loved it. And I was like, this is the best thing I've seen out of all these like Zoom, actor readings. Like Shia LaBeouf in here in his truck, smoking a joint,
like Jeff Spicoli.
Like Spicoli, like he even like came in there without a shirt on, and then like the scene where like he has to put on a shirt, he's like, go put on a shirt or whatever. Like he was there, he was in it, he was acting. And we talked about his most recent movie, The Tax Collector, And honestly, I thought he did a good job for the character that he played in that movie. You know,
They didn't give
regardless of
him a
whether or
lot,
not
but
he was a cholo or whatever. But like, you know, Shia LaBeouf,
he's
he's
doing
out
it.
there, man. He's doing it. Like,
He's up
if
there,
anything,
man. They need
if
to give him
anything,
one of these big directors need to give him a role.
well, I mean, the one thing that we've been hearing for him is, and we've talked about it before, is that they're talking about him putting him in the X-Men, which would be cool. I don't know if I want him to be Iceman, but
yeah, I've heard that. I've heard Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight gives him a little more to chew on.
Yeah, but Moon Knight, I don't know if he could be Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's this bipolar Jewish guy. That's what he is. And he's basically Batman. He gets
that's what I'm saying.
Egyptian
I've never thought
powers.
Shia LaBeouf could be Batman.
We thought Shia LaBeouf could be Red Hood, though. I've seen that. I've said that myself. Like, all he got to do is work out a little bit. But I don't want Shia LaBeouf to do any of this. Like, I don't want Shia LaBeouf to go to superhero land. I want him to go.
I don't know if I do either, yeah.
I don't want him to go that way. I want him to go work with Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino or Denis Villeneuve. I want him to go work with these big name directors to make some crazy actually, I want Shia LaBeouf to go work with David Fincher and do like some Seven, like psychopath detective, like in those Jake Gyllenhaal-esque roles, like Prisoner and shit. I want Shia LaBeouf to do some shit like that.
Or like what you said, like Scorsese. I don't know who's like our new up and coming gangster director, yeah. But like, you know, like I said, I thought in Tax Collector, he did good for what he was trying to do.
You just brought it up. The new age like type of which I see or Scorsese-esque. Put him with the Safdie brothers.
The Safdie brothers, yeah.
Give us a good time, uncut Jim Shia LaBeouf movie. And he fits that genre beautifully.
For sure.
So let him get with the Safdie brothers, something like that. I don't want to see him go superhero land. I really don't. Like,
yeah, but I mean, this just made me love Shia LaBeouf even more.
Yeah, he did his thing. Also, we got some Emmy winners. I want to shout out Zendaya. Oh, you got him?
Yeah, I got him. Well, you know, I'm not going to go through all the comedy ones because pretty much it was every person from Schitt's Creek won.
Yeah, is that a good show? Are you pissed about that?
Honestly, I haven't watched it. And I know,
feel like you wanted Maisel to
like
win.
blasphemy. Oh, no, it doesn't really matter. I thought the Maisel was like, you know, not that it wasn't bad this season, but I mean,
it just wasn't its best.
As great as like the earlier seasons.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like, you know, honestly, I just hadn't really gotten around to Schitt's Creek. Like, I think I tried to watch the pilot one day, and maybe it was just like I wasn't feeling it that day or something. But like, and the people that I'm around aren't big Schitt's Creek fan, but I have met a ton of them. Mm-hmm. So like, I know that people like the show, and maybe it's something that we're gonna have to get into because I mean, it's a 30-minute show that's on Netflix, so it's not like we can't watch it.
No one I know who watches comedy shows like talking about has seen Schitt's Creek, so it's interesting. Like that's why I asked you what you think, because like you're one of the comedy guys that, and if you didn't see it, I know it's. I haven't
heard anyone tell me that Schitt's Creek's bad. But
I
it's
haven't
just
heard
like,
that either.
Not something that I've like
heard people say they watch.
Well, I mean, I can't say that I haven't heard people say that they watch it, but I haven't. Like, it's just something that I haven't gotten into watching.
Well, good for Schitt's Creek winning comedy. Who did they beat out?
They won every single comedy thing.
Yeah, they went 7 for 7. I saw somebody tweeting that. Who they beat out mainly for comedy this year? Barry.
Yeah, Barry. Here, I only got the winners, not the noms.
I'm just interested in comedy. That's all. Because the other ones, I know pretty much the noms for those. Just interesting, man. I'm not a big comedy TV guy because my show never wins. It's always
yeah. What We Do in the Shadows, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Maisel, The Kominsky Method, Insecure, The Good Place, Dead to Me, and Curb. So honestly,
all those shows, like I could see why it won. All those shows had kind of a missed season this year. Like Insecure,
except for What We Do in the Shadows. But What We Do in the Shadows is a show like on TBS. So I mean, that's not gonna win anything.
Yeah, it's interesting. Good for Schitt's Creek. All right, let's get to the important shit.
All right, well,
Watchmen.
Yeah, limited series. Regina King, you mentioned earlier, she wins for lead actress in a limited series for Watchmen.
Best actress on the planet. Ian was calling me out saying, "Oh, Lynn loves Regina King." Duh, I love Regina King. Best actress on the planet. Her and Amy Adams. You don't want no.
She's about to take it all.
Oh yeah,
this directing stuff.
You don't want no smoke with my actress squad. You don't want no smoke. Regina King and Amy Adams, the two best of both worlds, chocolate and vanilla. What? Man, get out of here.
Side note, I heard a really funny story on Jeopardy of all places where like they had a question on Jeopardy where it was like this actress sent out her Christmas cards with a picture of Amy Adams on it, and no one knew the difference, and it was Isla Fisher or whatever. I thought that was hilarious.
That's pretty funny. Isla
It was
Fisher
pretty
does
funny.
look like Amy Adams, but Amy Adams, man, her and Regina King, best actresses on the planet right now. Shout out to Regina. Regina King has won. She won for 7. I got the tweet. Because someone tweeted this and I retweeted it, and I was like, oh, gotta shout out to the Queen. So let me tell you Regina King's run. 2015 Emmy for American Crime. 2016 Emmy for American Crime. 2018 Emmy for 7 Seconds. 2019 Oscar for If Beale Street Could Talk. 2020 Emmy for Watchmen. That's a fucking run of just dominance. Shout out to Regina King, man.
And American Crime is the seasons aren't the same. So like those are like 2 different characters that you played in one. Yep. So like that's something you got to keep note of.
That is a fact. So shout out to the Queen.
Outstanding lead actor in limited series went to Mark Ruffalo for I Know This Much Is True, something we've never seen.
Shout out to Hulk. I've been meaning to watch it on HBO Max. Shout out to Hulk. Good job for Mark Ruffalo. He's a great actor, man. Watch Spotlight. Yeah. Dude kills it.
Outstanding writer for a limited series was Damon Lindelof.
What?
For
Keep
Watchmen.
Him coming. I was just tweeting. Keep him fucking coming. Damon Lindelof deserved that. Him and the other guy, man. Shout out to
Outstanding directing limited series went to Maria Schrader for Unorthodox, which was a really good show. So good for her.
Good for her.
Outstanding supporting actor is your boy Yahya Abdul-Mateen for Watchmen.
Bro, keep him coming. I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all a couple weeks ago that he's an actor y'all need to watch out for? Didn't I man? I don't
wasted, as Black Man said, in my opinion.
Wait, yeah. Now when you go look back at it, super wasted. But they say he's gonna be in the second one, so we'll see. But
better give that boy his time.
Super wasted, and he did a great job in Aquaman. I watched Aquaman the other day when I was up in Mobile. Like I was just chilling watching Aquaman. It came on HBO, and I was watching it. That movie's pretty good. It's not a bad movie. It's better than
It's not a bad movie. I mean,
it's better than most of those MCU movies. I gotta keep it a bean. Like I liked it. When Black Manta comes, it's a breath of fresh air. They needed him in that fucking movie, but they needed to give him more. Because, like, Patrick Wilson, he wasn't the best. but I digress.
Outstanding supporting actress in limited series was Uzo Aduba for Miss America. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's something we haven't seen. But good for her.
And Watchmen wins for outstanding limited series.
Gang shit. Like a top 5 show of all time. That show was amazing.
So did you watch Succession?
I did. I'm a Succession fan.
Succession was the big winner in drama.
Didn't it beat Watchmen?
No, that was a different category.
Oh, Watchmen was nominated.
Watchmen won for outstanding limited. Like that was their category.
That's the only one they could win for. Okay, cool. I'm glad because I didn't want to be mad at Succession for beating Watchmen. Okay,
and so good.
Succession's a great show, man. I just need to get caught up. Like I'm like,
and so Succession was up for drama series against what is that? Stranger Things, the newest season, Ozark, Mandalorian, Killing Eve, Handmaid's Tale, The Crown, and Better Call Saul.
Oh, it's a better show than all those.
So
Succession's a better show than all those.
Succession wins
nuts
for outstanding drama.
Shout out Jeremy Strong. I want him to be Two-Face.
Jeremy Strong won lead actor in a drama series.
Look at the boy. He should be Two-Face, if not John David Washington. If they're going with a white guy, Jeremy Strong. If not, JD Dubs. But I digress.
Outstanding lead actress was Zendaya for Euphoria.
We talked about this last week.
We
talked about this last week. Look at the trajectory of Bella Thorne on OnlyFans and my girl Zendaya with it.
And Netflix movies.
Fire, bro. Fire. I love it. My girl went from a side character in a Disney show to saying, you know what? Fuck Disney. Bella Thorne, you could do whatever you got to do on a babysitter in OnlyFans, charging niggas $50 for a nude. But I'm going to be winning Emmys. That's lit. That is lit. Man. Shout out to Rue, man. That show is awesome.
It is awesome.
My girlfriend's going to bust in here like, when'd you watch it for? I've been watching it on the low. Been watching it on the low.
I
Euphoria
watched that
is
with my
lit.
girlfriend. It was lit. It's a good show.
Super good. Shout out to Rue, man. She deserved that.
Even though I
Zendaya
heard
killed it.
she's dating that creepy dude on the show, and I'm like,
She's
ugh.
not dating that dude. Who you talking about? The dude with the beard?
No, the dude with the dude who on the
My
show
guy?
is
What's
the
his?
bad guy, like the jock.
Oh, what? Wait. You're not
I
talking
don't
about
want
my
to say
guy.
too much about him because like it ruins the show for people who haven't seen Euphoria. But like
Hold
the
on.
dude
I'm gonna pull it
who
up. Hold on. I'm pulling up the cast. I'm gonna ask you. Just don't say nothing. I'm gonna ask you. You talking about Jacob Elordi?
yeah.
Nate Jacobs, she not dating him. He got another girlfriend. Don't put Zendaya on Kissing Booth, man. Kissing Booth man couldn't get with Zendaya. He too busy dating what's that? Yo, this is crazy. What's that little girl's name from that show on Hulu where her mama was pulling out her teeth and
Are you
doing
talking
like
about Joey King?
yeah, he too busy
That
dating Joey King.
that was just in the movie.
No, they were dating in real life.
Oh.
Trust me, I watched all the Kissing Booths. I'm up to date on the gossip. Zendaya not dating that clown. But hold on. Zendaya might be dating this dude though.
Was Zendaya really dating Tom Holland?
Yeah, they were really dating for a little bit, but she
Okay.
broke up with him. He was too slow for her. Zendaya's too much of a woman for Tom Holland. He's too young. He just did his first dark movie. he got to get some darkness under his chops before he can get Zendaya. But they said she was dating Angus Cloud, who I was trying to get on the Bros Who Binge podcast. Just a little inside baseball. Shout out to Angus. I know he knows and he listens to this. He might come on soon. He's not doing interviews right now, but shout out to Angus
Dude, I
Cloud.
love that guy.
Yeah, bro, we're on speaking terms. He's in the DMs.
Dude,
I could show y'all, but I'm not that type of dude.
Dude, he was one of my favorite character on that show.
Yeah, Angus kills it, man. Shout out to you if you're listening to Bros Who Binge right now, bro. Come on the show for season 2 of Euphoria. But
I did see a funny meme though where they put like the Rob Patz from Good Time and they put him in like a convenience store and they were like,
Angus, he was there.
They were like, you better leave Rue alone. Because like he kind of looks like him in that in his Good Time or whatever.
He does. But shout out to Zendaya. Like, she just, like I said, she went from Bella Thorne's sidekick to Emmys while Bella Thorne is on OnlyFans. That's a dub sack, bro. That's a huge dub sack.
To wrap up the Emmy stuff, Succession won for outstanding writing and directing. A supporting actor in a drama was Billy Crudup for The Morning Show, which
that's a pretty good show I hear. I need to watch it. I have Apple TV.
Yeah. You need to watch those Apple TV shows. You need to watch Ted Lasso so we can talk about it.
I do. I watched Mythic Quest. I watched all of that. Shout out to Rob McElhenney. That show's great. And I love that Cricket's in it too.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty fun.
But they need more Rob McElhenney and Cricket and less of that other shit.
What, the chick?
Yeah, I just wasn't I wasn't with the Australian girl storyline. I really wasn't.
No, I didn't like her storyline either. I was like,
and then when I
was like, just leave.
When they threw Jake Johnson in there, I was just like, "Why are you in here?" That random ass episode.
Well, that was needed to talk about the origins of Mythic Quest or whatever.
Jake Johnson didn't start Mythic Quest, huh?
It was about the code or something. You have to look back. Like it was important. Like it meant something, but like it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I was like, what a weird episode, man. But I like
outstanding supporting actress in drama series was Julia Garner for Ozark. Deserved.
Good for her. Cool. Well, shout out to all of that. But let's get to our movie on the rise this week. I don't know what I'm gonna have because you want
to use that second one.
I might, yeah. Let me see what's on Netflix coming this week while you go. Well, if not, I'll use the second one.
Well, I'll talk about. So last week, the Jurassic World cartoon Camp Cretaceous came out, and before I tuned in, I went to the reviews, some non-spoiler reviews. I was like, is this worth my time? And people were like, don't judge a book by its cover. Watch the series. It's got, it's got tension. It's got, not horror, but it's thrilling. And I would agree. I'm 3 episodes in. It's got, it's pretty in depth for like a cartoon, and even a pretty shittily made cartoon, in my opinion. So like, if you're on Netflix or whatever, and you want something to watch, something quick, like the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, it stays true to the Jurassic Park series, even more so than the Jurassic Park 3. A lot of people said that they prefer this over Jurassic Park 3 itself, even though I'm a Jurassic Park 3 fan. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad series, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Like I was pleasantly surprised so far. I'm probably gonna try and watch some before I go to bed tonight. Like it's pretty good.
Hell
But
yeah.
you
Okay.
want to use the other one?
Wait, no, I think I got something, but I'm gonna say the other one. I'm trying to find what the name of it is. It usually. Okay, wait. I think I got it. No, god damn it. Where's the
Because this isn't a big week.
Why is HBO Max like high? Oh, here we go. Okay. So I got a documentary that's on
Okay.
HBO Max. It's called Class Action Park. Let me read you the description. Grab your swimsuits, buckled up, keep your hands and feet inside the rhymes at all time, except if you're at Action Park. The notorious, and I found out about this when I was working at the radio station at 107.9. Me and my co-host, shout out to Josh. I know Josh listens. Josh is the man. He told me about this, how this was a real thing. There was a news article about it. But basically, except if you're in Action Park, the notorious, dangerous, and chaotic, but wickedly fun 1980s New Jersey water and amusement park that long ago entered the realm of myth and gave perhaps less thought to safety measures. Class Action Park explores the legend, legacy, and truth behind the world's most insane amusement park, featuring a wealth of newly unearthed and never before seen documents, recordings, original animations, interviews with the people who lived it and loved it. This 90-minute nostalgia-packed documentary reveals the shocking true story behind Action Park. Basically, it was a water park that was made by these 4 friends or 3 friends that they made inside their like backyard or like that, like one of their grandmother's like fields, and like it had no safety regulations. They just drew shit up in their dope books and they made it, and people would come ride. It's called Class Action Park because when you would slide down the slides, like you would leave with like cuts on your ass and it would be bloody, and it was like the craziest shit, but people kept going because it was nuts. And this documentary, I'm watching this probably tonight, if not tomorrow. It looks absolutely insane. Like the cover is a lady with like, this is the cover of it, a lady with a broken leg, and she's like in a
Oh my
tube.
god.
Yeah, so like it's crazy. So Class Action Park, HBO Max, if you have it, watch that documentary. Yeah. It's nuts. But also Bob's Burgers coming back this Sunday. Liddy.
Yeah, the whole slate with The Simpsons and all that. They'll be back on Sunday.
Liddy. I've been missing. I was on Hulu today checking for new Bob's Burger season, fiending. So I'm excited for Sunday.
I got to finish up some of the last season.
Last season was pretty good. It was all right. I'm ready for new Simpsons. I mean, not new Simpsons. New South Park, which they're going to be
is coming.
Yeah, they're going to be doing the...
Save that for next week's Movie on the Rise.
They're doing the Corona shit. I think Key's going to die from Corona. That's everybody's taking bets.
The 1 hour special is September 30th, so we'll talk about it more next week.
Lit. All right, what we doing? Devil All Time first? We're not doing Avatar this week. I didn't watch it. Sorry, everybody. I'll watch it next week.
Too important for him to half-ass.
Yeah, too important to half-ass, so I got to know. So what we doing first? Devil All the Time? The Boys or Lovecraft? The Boys can reclaim its top spot and last. The Boys, because after this episode of The Boys, I was like, Boys' best show on TV this year, man. It really is. Show's great.
Let's go with Lovecraft. It's probably the freshest in both of our minds.
Are we doing that one over Devil All the Time?
Well, Devil All the Time is a movie, so I want to give it like at least some credit.
You're right. We can knock out Lovecraft because it's pretty simple. Like this episode wasn't confusing. It wasn't like
it really doesn't further along
the plot of anything. Yeah, like basically
it just gives us some explanation.
Yeah, we learned of Tick's time in Korea. He ended up with shout out to Jamie Chung. She killed it, by the way. She was a reality star in the real world. Now she's like a killer actress. She was in the real world first season or second season. Yep, go look that up. She's in the real world. Lyndon dropping bombs on him. But shout out to Jamie Chung.
I didn't watch Real World that early.
Me neither. I knew that through Real World history. But like so shout out to Jamie Chung. She killed it. But basically, it's this lady who's a nurse who ends up being Tick's nurse. But we see that she is the Kitsune. She's the Nine Tails demon. So I was like, yo, is she with Naruto? Like, is the Tick bang the Kyuubi? The Tick bang Kurama? Like, what's going on in this episode? Shit blew my mind. But basically, this lady, her husband was raping her daughter. So this lady went to an old shaman. The shaman put the Kitsune curse on the daughter, which ended up when the husband would rape her, the Kitsune ate it. So she sacrificed her daughter to kill her husband. And now the monster has to consume 100 bodies or 100 souls, have sex with 100 men to become a human again. we see it's going through its thing, and basically the
That was
Kitsune.
some scary stuff.
Yeah, it was nuts. It reminded me of American Gods when the woman, but I think her name is Bethesda or some. No, that's the company that makes Skyrim. Whatever her name is, she was eating people through her pussy. That was the same thing, same exact thing. Shit blew my mind. But it's gonna bug me that I don't know her name. But basically, we see the Kitsunes just eating men, and it gets down to like time for 100. But she doesn't feel like this is her. She feels like she's changed. She doesn't want to keep doing this. She doesn't think she can be a monster. But she's looking
because like she gets all their memories and like,
she's
and
tired
so
of it.
like,
She's tired
yeah.
of doing the dance, and she just wants to find someone who gives her a jolt of lightning like Judy Garland in the movies, because she's a big Judy Garland fan. In comes Tick. Tick and her hit it off, and basically,
Well, Tick pretty much killed her best friend into her knowledge. So like,
guy.
yeah, so like when she sees her or sees him, she wants to kill him.
Yeah.
And like even tells her mother or whatever.
She
She's
got
like, yeah, this is gonna be my 100th soul or whatever, because like I want to kill this guy.
But it's the whole don't judge a book by the cover. She ends up getting to know Tick, finding out they have much more in common. I love that it was through Alexander Dumas and Count of Monte Cristo, because when everybody thinks of Alexander Dumas, who wrote The Three Musketeers, everybody thinks of a white guy. It's actually a black guy. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge Tick by its cover. Don't judge the Kitsune by its cover. Also, the fact that Alexander Dumas was looking for revenge, both Tick from the perspective of being a black man in America fighting for a country that doesn't love you. You want your revenge in the end that you could get your rights. Also, the Kitsune wants the revenge for all the men that she's a revenge monster. So it was a perfect symmetry of themes with Alexander Dumas' Monte Cristo, Count of Monte Cristo. Love the movie, by the way. But also, that's pretty much, yeah. So they basically have a love connection. We see their whole story, and then Tick's about to like bang her, and she was like, "I'm gonna eat you," and she was like, "Nah," and so they don't bang. And then like they say we're both monsters, but we can get over this. And then they're banging constantly. And then one of the final times they bang before Tick has to go, she like reads his mind. She kitsunes him, but she lets him free. And then she sees a vision of the future where Tick's gonna die and all the shit that's going on now. And she basically goes ask the priestess like, what's gonna happen with Tick? We don't see what the priestess says, and that's how the episode ends. But
what was with that fox?
That fox is like that's part of like the nine tail. Like that's like another like mythological figure, but like she's the nine tails, but that was probably like another tailed like beast looking at her or some shit like that. So who knows? But basically next week we're getting what's my girl's name who I predict is gonna die. What's Uncle George's
Letty's
wife's
sister?
name? No,
you mean Hippolyta or whatever?
Yeah, we getting Hippolyta, so we're gonna find out she was like some slave champion or some shit. The previews look nuts, but I still think she's gonna die. But yeah, this episode was simple. It takes time in South Korea. That's all this was.
Yeah, and I thought it was a necessary episode. It was one of those episodes where you're watching, like obviously it's not furthering along like the story that we've been going on with this show. And it almost felt like an entirely different show that I was watching.
It felt like Watchmen when we learned about the Asian when we learned about Lady True. It felt
pretty
like
much
when Watchmen did the Lady True episode, or when we did the Regina King's grandfather episode, where we go back in time and we learn about
pretty much
Hooded Justice. This feels like Watchmen's cousin. This show feels like it's in the same family as Watchmen.
Yeah,
it's not as good as Watchmen to me, but like I still think it feels. They're filming it very similar.
I mean, I still feel like the jury's still out on that. I mean, like, yeah, I feel like Watchmen, obviously Emmy-winning limited series, but I feel like this is a show that could be in the running.
Oh yeah, and I can see the show having multiple seasons. Unlike
Watchmen. That's true. Yeah, so I guess what's coming down the line is like what is to come of the visions. The one thing in like the whole vision thing that I saw was like, in the vision, Tick was like with another chick. Was that part of the future or part of the past? Because I was like, did that boy lie about him being a virgin?
You're my friend for a reason. I thought the same thing. I had to rewind. I rewinded twice. So I assume what she saw was Tick getting back to America, banging the first girl he saw, going back to Chicago, then meeting Letty, and then everything that happens with Letty and everything. So I thought at first he lied, but then I realized they weren't trying to pay Tick as a skis ball. So I realized that was when he first got back to Chicago or first got back to America.
Yeah. And then also when I was watching it, I was thinking, like, was that scene that she was looking at like an actual death thing, or was she actually seeing him when he was at the the Adam,
Oh,
the heavens, the Garden of Eden thing, where
when he
like
was
he gets
tied
out of
up.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could have been that as well.
So like,
Interesting. I didn't think about that.
so yeah, but he does keep in contact with her like we saw in last episode. So I'm wondering if like she's gonna come back, which I hope she does.
Yeah,
In some
bring
capacity.
QB, bro. We got the nine. Tick got the bro. Tick got the soldiers, bro. Tick got the nine tails, fam. Don't let my guy put out a Rasengan on you niggas, bro. Shit is Tick bang the nine tails. That's nuts to me. Like being a super Naruto fan. Itachi's chilling right here. Kakashi's chilling right here. Like that's
Yeah,
nuts.
when she started reading the story, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I wrote that down. I was like, whoa, Tick bang the nine tails. Crazy. So, but solid episode this week. Solid episode, but it does not deserve the top spot of last. That is reserved for the boys. The Butcher's finally back, man, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
All right, so Devil All the Time, Netflix series.
I took notes. I had to because just a weird fucking movie.
I'm glad you took notes. I didn't take notes, but like I told my mom about this like when it came out in the middle of the week, and she'd seen it before me, and she was like, the one thing that she's said about Netflix movies is that Netflix can't get movies right unless it's like what, the Project Power or
Oh, so she's opposite of us. She thinks they do action good.
no, only Project Power, and then like what are the ones that we do think are good?
The King,
like comedies and like
the serious shit.
Pretty much, but I mean, like this is a serious shit movie, but I still feel like it kind of fell flat.
It did. It did. Okay, this movie wanted to be the next like Prisoners, Zodiac, Seven. It tried to be like this big mystery crime solving type grandiose
Except
film.
they told you everything in the beginning.
Yeah, just like, okay, so I didn't understand. I thought Tom Holland's character. Let me tell you what I thought the movie was going to be. I thought it introduces serial killer team A, Jason Clarke and his wife. And then I thought it introduces the idea of Priest being bad, giving us Robert Pattinson, serial killer B. And I thought the movie was going to be with the daughter being a daughter of a serial killer, being a birth from like that shit situation.
Talking about Lenora?
Yeah, I'm talking about Lenora. I thought Lenora was going to be murdered in the town, and Tom Holland was going to have to try to solve the mystery of who murdered Lenora, and it was going to be between Jason Clarke and Robert Pattinson. But it wasn't that Jason Clarke was only there to pick up Tom Holland. It was his own.
Which I saw coming from a mile away.
Which was his sole purpose. Like this movie tells you everything about the movie, and they don't let you see anything. Literally, this whole movie is just about Tom Holland. It's everybody reliving the past. This movie is history repeating itself. That's all this movie is.
Well, I thought like where it was saying from like Devil All the Time was, Tom Holland, I guess, is like your central character here. And you see like the father can be a devil, where like you see like, his father doing like the shit to his dog or whatever, and like
his father killing
beating
himself.
the shit out of people, and like his father killing himself. Preachers can be the devil. You see through Lenora's father, and played by Dudley. And
first note I put, Dudley really thought he could bring his wife back from the dead, then ditched his crippled brother. Lol.
Lol. And then you get your normal serial killer type.
I put the two serial killers, crazy. Like, dude asked the lady to just bang my wife. No, bro.
And then you have Sebastian Stan, who was in his own kind of sketchy shit. Like, so I thought that it was pretty much like...
He was in his own movie. Like,
he was in his own movie.
I was like, what the fuck are all these different... the Jason Clarke storyline, the Robert Pattinson, Dudley, Lenora storyline, the Tom Holland in Skarsgård storyline, and then we had the fucking Sebastian Stan dealing with mob members running for election storyline. This movie didn't know what it wanted to be. It was just a bunch of different scenes. It felt like a play. This movie felt like a play or like a book, to where I was missing a lot of information.
Yes.
Like it was just showing me things. It wasn't doing anything.
I felt like the beginning exposition was too long. Like the whole stuff with Skarsgård, it was just like, okay, well,
we didn't need all of that.
Tom Holland's in this movie, right? Like I was like,
he doesn't come until like an hour.
And same with Pattinson, like. And, I do feel like a lot of those storylines individually were powerful in their own way, but like it just didn't weave together very well.
Yeah, it didn't tie together at all. I wrote down after the Dudley thing, I said the two serial killers, that's Jason Clarke and his wife, crazy. Felt so bad for Arvin because his mom and dad died at the same time. That's Tom Holland. Preston Teagarden, loony man. That's Robert Pattinson. I wrote as a loony man. His accent, crazy. Yo, Tom Holland beat those dudes' ass for messing with Lenora. Lenora is falling down her mama path after the Dudley. And her going to Robert Pattinson, I wrote that down.
I did. After he beat up those dudes, Arvin did. I turned to my girlfriend like, you don't mess with Spider-Man.
Yeah, Tom Holland beat those dudes' ass. So
he beat their ass. Like I thought he killed that one dude. The first person he put on the mask.
I thought his dad killed the dude too. I thought they both did. Fuck yeah, for clowning. Sure. So after I wrote Lenora falling down her mama path, I said, "Damn, Carl and his wife went on 14 road trips to kill people. That's crazy." Next, I said that lady should have left Carl crazy ass when she had the chance. Sebastian Stan is one of the worst cops. His ass got beat.
And he has a serial killer living under his nose, and he's just not even gonna notice.
His wife's husband is a serial killer, and the thing is, are we sure? There's so many are we sure's, but this is a big one. Are we sure that when he got the picture and saw who the person was, being that he's a cop, knowing the missing persons reports and knowing who got murdered, can't he put the two and two together? Like he saw the picture of his wife and someone who had already died. He's a cop who has all the deaths in the area. He should have a picture of the person who died. Can't he match the two is my question.
Now,
shitty cop.
In all fairness, like,
he was trying to hide that.
When Dudley died, he was in North Carolina. So, like, that was the whole point, is that their road trips or whatever, they would pick up people and kill them in, like, different states.
That's true.
And he was, like, a county sheriff for, like, that county. So he may not
But he had deaths from that area. But you're right. He might not have known that exact one. You're right. All right, next thing I wrote after Sebastian Stan's one of the worst cops got his ass beat. Robert Pattinson, super scummy preacher, impregnating Lenora, then making her get an abortion. Bad guy. But then I'm like, oh, shit. She didn't get an abortion. She killed herself. Damn.
When she was going into the shed, I was like,
I thought she was about to take the. You're my friend for a reason. I thought she was about to take the scissors and shove them up her vagina and snip away. And I was like, damn.
I was like, we're about to see some blood.
Yeah, I was like, you're gonna die either way, but like, ugh. So I definitely thought she was gonna do that. The next thing I wrote, Tom Holland killed the preacher. Boom. Then Stan killed the mob leader. Boom, boom. Sandy and Carl, Dunskies. Boom. Stan, Dunskies. That final sequence crazy of just all those deaths.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like that, it was.
Why were those mob dudes in that movie, bro? Like, what purpose does those dudes serve?
They served no purpose. They served no purpose. The only purpose they served was to show him that he could find a gun with untraceable bullets so that he could kill them. Which made no sense. Which I didn't even understand, like why he killed them. Like because like they
because he owed. I thought because he owed
the money.
Oh, I thought it was either because he owed the money or.
They put his sister into prostitution or whatever?
That, or they were going to mess up his election. Or a combination of all three. But he was definitely concerned about his election. They had no purpose. And I don't know why the election was a big deal, except besides, like, his sister was a bad influence for that. But, like, it didn't matter because we never saw the townspeople seeing the... Like, this movie just had...
Well, and then I just never really understood, like, why he was, like, so adamant about killing Tom Holland. Like, dude, your sister was, like, a murderer.
And
he legit just defended himself.
Yeah, I know. This movie, like it puts like connections there, but they fall flat.
Oh, I guess that's true. So he was trying to kill him because he didn't want him to go to people and be like, "Oh yeah, this dude's like sister," and because of his election.
Yeah, because he let all this shit happen under his nose. That's why. But like all the connections they built are like very loosely held together, and like when people start walking over that bridge, the bridge falls apart.
Pretty much.
Like, so this movie's like a 5, bro. I want to give it more, but like, it might be a 6 because of the acting and like some of the funny deaths and some of the funny like banter, but like,
no, I feel like a 6. I feel like a 6 you might rewatch, and I would never rewatch it.
Yeah, I'm not rewatching this, but Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson both acted really well.
Yeah,
and like you said, Robert Pattinson showing his range.
I even thought Skarsgård acted well.
I did too. And I thought Sebastian Stan wasn't bad. I just thought he was in a different movie from everybody else.
That's fair.
Like, I didn't think he was bad, but like, I was just like, why are you still playing the same version of that you're playing in I, Tonya, but as a cop? I felt like he was the same person.
Fair enough. Yeah, I
just
don't
like a
know.
dummy. But
Whenever he came on screen, I was just like, "What is this? Like, what are we talking? What are we doing now?"
What you giving it? I'm giving it a 5. I can't give it over a
4.5.
5. I'm being generous. But all right, let's get to the boys, man. And shout out to Ian. Ian, I don't know if Ian hyped this episode up for me too much, but like it was good. But when Ian said the shit changed, the show was different, I was like, I don't know if the show is different anymore so now than it was. But I must say, major shit happened. Major shit happened. They do have some groundbreaking things happen in this episode. But basically, this episode it happens in like 3 parts. We got the boys part. Well, actually 4 parts. We got the boys part of Mother's Milk, Huey, and Butcher with Black Noir. Then we have the Kimiko Frenchie part. Then we got the Starlight Stormfront part. And then we got the Homelander Stormfront part. Those are the 3 sections of it. And inside of there's things like the Deep converting to Christianity. And we're seeing his ads throughout the episode. And then Maeve ends up meeting him at his church, saying like, I'll get you back in the 7, but you have to help me. That's after Maeve talks to her woman, her lady friend, about they're going to take down Homelander because they're really making a movie about Maeve coming out of the closet. And they have like the girlfriend in the movie. It's really some sick shit. They don't
really have her in the movie. They were talking to her about like how they were going to present their relationship.
No, that
to the
Latino
world.
character was supposed to be her, huh? I assumed that the whole time.
Oh, you're saying like the character that Maeve like kisses in the movie is supposed to be her?
That's supposed to be her. They have the same name. It's Elena.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I caught that. But like when they were doing the stuff with like sitting down with the dude from Timeless and
but that's why they were doing it, because she was in the movie and they were trying to make merch of her.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty fucked up. And then like Maeve was just like not even gonna say anything about it. And I'm just like,
she couldn't, and then that's why she goes out and she's like, "Look, we gotta take this dude down. Can't be with that anymore." So she goes to the Deep. So I'm interested to see what Maeve and the Deep are gonna concoct. But that's one.
Yeah, what is the
Deep
gonna do?
Yeah, the Deep's like inside of this Christian like cult. So we're gonna see what's up with him. But that's like a side. That's like side plot taken care of.
Mentioning the cult, we can mention the one thing where Stormfront again shows her racistness, where she's like, "Oh yeah, I was in the Church of Collective, but they put too many
different faces in there.
Too many different faces or something."
Yeah, she was clowning. She said they started letting in too many people. Yeah.
So A-Train's like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, let's get A-Train's storyline out the way. So basically, A-Train's kicked out of the 7 this episode, pretty much. He gives a scene. He's like, I'm done. And then Stormfront has another racist moment. She's racist to A-Train, and A-Train the whole time is like, damn, bitch, what are you doing? So just Stormfront, super racist. But all right, let's end Kimiko and Frenchie. Kimiko's doing hits for Frenchie's girlfriend, or basically for the Albanians, and Frenchie's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend is like the liaison. Kimiko rips off some dude's face, which was I got the heebie-jeebies when she did that. Shit was crazy. And Frenchie's like, I'm tired of this, Kimiko. I get you killed your brother. I get you hurt, but I'm trying to help you. But you don't want my help anymore. Fuck you. And he said, fuck you to his friend. And then he leaves. Kimiko takes the money and dips. We haven't seen Frenchie and Kimiko since. Another storyline wrapped up. All right. Now let's wrap up Starlight storyline, because that's not too important. And then we'll talk about the 2 important ones. So Starlight, her mom comes through. I'm pretty sure Stormfront invited her mom there because she's a bitch. Just because Stormfront's just a bitch. And Starlight's pissed. Starlight then goes to Stormfront's trailer because she knows she's Liberty. She's looking for information. Stormfront walks in. She lies, says, like, why did you invite my mom, blah, blah, blah. And then Stormfront's like, cut the bullshit. I know you leaked the shit to Vault. And she's like, well, I know you're Liberty. And then, boom, Homelander walks in, and they can't say anything.
And so we'll see what happens with that later.
We'll see what happens with that. Like, man, death flags for Starlight. She put out all her cards. She put her cards out on the table too soon. She could have lied while she was in there. She should have did more digging to get more dirt on Liberty, but she gave her cards. So to me, I see death flags around Starlight. I think Starlight is gonna die because Stormfront taking a body with her. She's taking a body before she leaves the season. Also, we see Bobby Iceman, Lamplighter. He's in this. Your boy, not Chad Michael Murray, but the dude who looks like Chad Michael Murray. The dude who's Iceman in X-Men, who's looking up with Rogue.
I don't remember that guy.
But he's in there.
I don't remember his name.
The dude who's flicking the lighter in prison.
Yeah.
That's Lamplighter. He was talking to Stormfront. I wonder what beef they have. So, or what's their whole deal. But all right, now I can get to my notes and we could talk about some of the things. I wrote down Stormfront, no, Stormlight leaked V, Homelander getting at Maeve. We talked about that. Butcher feels defeated the whole time. Butcher's trying to kill himself. He's giving up on life. He's detested. So I
He's gonna go
got
see his dog.
yeah, go see his dog. I said, also, quick side note about the Deep's PR campaign. When he's trying to show he's a better person and he sees that dude taking advantage of the girl, he's like, hey, dude, that's not cool. I was like, bro, is that enough to stop like a rape? Like, what are you doing, the Deep?
Yeah, dude, all that stuff was just like so lame.
I was like,
oh my God.
The Deep's PR campaign sucks. Like, at least Stormfront got the memes. And then I was like, yo, Homelander's losing it. That scene where he looks at the people and just boom, just shoots eye beams across the crowd. I thought that was real at first. I was like, no fucking way.
I was like, no way that's real.
Yeah, I was like, no fucking way. Saw that, blew my fucking mind. Also, I wrote the Taffy Room, Butcher's aunt selling dope and selling drugs to people.
Trapping
out
prescription
the
drugs.
Butcher has a brother who is he reminded of by Huey. Lenny died. We don't know how he died. Probably by soup, though, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Butcher lies to Noir, but we'll get to that. Noir is Edgar's guard dog. We'll get to that. Butcher's really back, and then we'll talk about the end scene. But let's talk about
I guess with Homelander or whatever, we were mentioning like the scene where he mows everyone down. He goes and does like that. He tries to get good PR by trying to. Well, no, before he stops the protest, I mean, the whole protest was because like he went and like tried to stop like a terrorist, and then like.
But he ended up killing somebody,
and then like his whole deal with, and he goes to the speech and he's like, these things happen, and they're like, someone's like, how many times has this happened?
Yeah. They're like, how many people have you killed? They're like, you don't speak for me, Homelander. And then he just dips out. He goes to Stormfront and is like, yo, I need your help. I can't do this. And Stormfront's like, don't worry. I'm going to put my meme girl on it, a.k.a. the internet troll. She's doing what alt-right and alt-left people do, making memes and trying to get a cult. He's up 5% now. And like, they're attracted to each other because they're both evil people. I don't think Homelander's racist, but Homelander has like a god complex and he's narcissistic as fuck. And Stormfront's this racist bitch.
It's not like he's racist, but
Homelander's not racist at all.
Because he doesn't think like he's superior to other races. He just thinks he's
superior to everybody. Yeah.
So it doesn't.
This doesn't mean anything about it. Like I could deal with somebody like Homelander. Stormfront, on the other hand, that bitch is racist. And then so they have sex, and she's like, burn my chest. And he shoots his eye beams into her chest. And he's like, don't be a pussy. I want to feel it. So then they just start throwing each other around and having weird super sex. And that's how they end. So their relationship's super strong. I think Stormfront thinks she has Homelander under her thumb now, but that's going to come and bite her in the fucking ass. Homelander now knows how hard he has to shoot his beams to kill her. Like, I think that was like she was testing him, and he was testing her. And I think he knows now, like, oh, all right, bitch, I'm going to crank up the voltage on your ass. I'm going to cut you in half. So
well, yeah, it makes me feel like she has, like, some kind of super regenerative power because, like, we know that she's super old. So, like, she's got to have, like, some kind of, like,
or
power
she's
where, like, she can take a lot,
I'm trying to think of, like, how Shazam – I wonder if she just heals. She has a good healing factor where she can heal, but she can die, though. It's going to be interesting to see her power and, like, what's up with Lamplighter and the fact that he's, like, he burned people and, like, it's going to be interesting about her and what's her angle to get over on Homelander because you got to understand, Homelander now has multiple enemies this season. He has Maeve on one end. He has Starlight in the boys, and now he has Stormfront, but he thinks Stormfront's an ally as well as Vought. And so we're going to see how he navigates all this. But let's get to what else Vaught's doing sneak shit. So they send Black Noir after the boys. We find out about Butcher's brother, and Huey's his canary. Huey's the guy that can pull Butcher back from being down and out. Black Noir basically Deadpool, like we said. He doesn't talk, and he just can regenerate. He's the super assassin. He takes out Mother's Milk, and then he pushes Butcher. He's about to kill Huey. Butcher stands up, looks. He's like, nah, I'm Butcher again. He tells I'm gonna ask you after. He tells Black Noir that, yo, I got pictures of Homelander's kids. I'm going to release it to the public. Let me talk to the main guy. Mr. Edgar gets on the phone. They make a deal. You don't release the pictures. I'll stop Black Noir from coming kill you. Basically, boys are free to roam right now. They don't have assassins chasing them because of what Butcher told Mr. Edgar, so no one's going to be after them. So now they can do their boy stuff freely. My question to you is, do you think Butcher has those pictures? I think he fucking lied.
No, I think he's got him.
You think he has him? I think he fucking lied out his ass. The way he looked at Huey, he gave Huey a look like, don't say this shit right now. Like, they're fucking leaving right now. Like, we'll talk about this in a minute. I feel like he lied, but, like, I think because he knows the address, I think it doesn't matter that he lied.
I think that they know that he's been there, so it's enough for them to assume that he's got him.
1,000%.
So
like he knows where they are. He was there. He talked to her. I think they know all of that. That's why they couldn't take the chance. But do I believe Billy Butcher has pictures of Becca's kid? No way. I do not believe that at all.
I don't know. I feel like he thought it through and had like collateral.
He wasn't thinking about that though. He was just trying to save her. And when she dips, he has to leave. Like they were coming out. Like when did he have time to take that? He didn't. He never saw him.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Also,
at least they bought some time.
They definitely bought some time. So now Billy Butcher's fully back. The next episode, we're gonna have to get Frenchie and Kimiko back, and then the team will be able to do whatever the team has to do going forward. But I see Starlight dying. I see Maeve honestly might die because
I see A-Train dying.
You see, okay, so damn, we think 3 members of the 7 going down this season.
Well, he's not a member of the 7 anymore. That's why I feel like he's gonna die.
Yeah, A-Train. Sad to see him go. I think he's gonna die as well, but because his purpose is over, he serves no more.
Well, I'm also wondering like if he ends up like straying to like the boy side somehow.
I don't see
but
that.
I just doubt it.
And like his purpose of being like a rat, like using his final card to ratchet on Starlight, that doesn't matter anymore because Stormfront knows, and I know she's gonna tell Homelander. So like that, yeah, A-Train definitely might die. Maeve, I think if Maeve dies, I don't think Starlight dies. But if Starlight dies, I don't think Maeve dies. I think one of them dies.
Sure. I'd say that.
One, not the other. Also,
because at least Maeve might be coming after Homelander, which gives her more purpose to die than
Starlight. But do we think Stormfront makes it out of the season? I don't think so because of the comics, but like they are being different than the comics. But I just don't see how once she does whatever she's gonna do to Homelander doesn't kill her. I don't see
I feel like she's the big bad of the season, so I feel like she's got to go at the end.
Yeah, true.
To make room for the next deal.
Jensen Ackles, Soldier Boy, which we're gonna see and all that. But good episode this week, man. Just showed the boys the best TV show on television right now. A
few funny things like through the VCU kind of stuff, like the fact that it was called the VCU. I thought that was pretty funny.
The Joss Whedon cut.
The Joss rewrite, yeah, and then Greg Grunberg being Agent Pearson.
Yeah, that was pretty funny because I was like J.J. Abrams guy in there. What else did I like? I said the Taffy Room with Aunt Judy being a dope dealer. I like how Mother's Milk stood up to Butcher when Huey was like, "I'm not letting you pass." Butcher's like, "I'm gonna get through you," and the Mother's Milk was like, "Can you get through me though, partner? Like we're not leaving." I was just like, "Yes, MM." I love MM in. Because this season they split up the boys and they chose to do Kimiko and Frenchie. I love Mother's Milk and Huey's relationship.
For sure. Yeah, he's become one of my favorite characters.
Like Mother's Milk has a way bigger role this season than he did last season. I do not want to see him die. Like he cannot die.
This is crazy. This is like the boys as it was before is just that show that it's so hard that it's week to week now because like
I hate it.
I want to know what's next. Like
I hate it, bro. I hate it. And they put out a video. Seth Rogen put out a video of like everybody saying they hate it, and he was just like Homelander just eyeballed the screen and blew it up. He was like, I don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. But like, I hate
y'all are watching it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Y'all are watching it. Y'all love it. Y'all know y'all want it. But like, Jesus, I hate it week to week because I would have definitely. That's why it took me so long to watch this episode because I'm waiting because it's like. Once I watch it, I got to wait a whole nother week. Like, I would have watched all of these by now. I would have been watched all of these. But, you know, it gives us content to review each week. Solid episode. Yeah. I thought this was better than last week's episode. I thought this was a really good one. Like, I like this. I think this is getting back to the form of the first two. Like, the first three at least. I thought 4 was kind of where we find out about Liberty and Stormfront. I thought 4 was the weakest. But I think this is getting back up to par. Like I said, love the deep references. Love the A-Train shit.
Terror, fuck it.
Stormfront and Homelander having sex, crazy scene.
You got your black noir stuff, you know.
Yeah, I like that. We finally got some black noir fighting, just how he's a badass. Loved that. So loved everything. And Mr. Edgar had slight work in this one. He was just like, yeah, I got y'all. Whatever. I'm behind here. Loved how black noir. I wonder if black noir is like where Deadpool was scientifically worked on. I wonder if he was worked on to where he was turned into like a zombie, to where he can't talk or anything, and he
That's
has
what
to
I was
have
about
like
to
a
say. I was like,
camera on him.
it seems like he's robotic, but I know he's not a robot. But
He
like, I guess like almost like a Frankenstein
he might be
kind of
like,
deal.
honestly, he might be Deadpool instead of Batman. He might be Deadpool and Red Hood, where it's like how Red Hood was brought back to life and how Deadpool was scientifically worked on. He could be like this Frankenstein zombie that's inside of this suit that can't die, that has badass martial arts skills. Because like he never talks, he doesn't do anything, and like he has a can't like he's like a gimp essentially. Like
My are we sure with that was like, if Black Morris was to be like this superhero ninja guy, like how do you get seen so easily and like give them enough time for them to like come up with a plan to like
But we
call
got to
in the
but you got to
cops?
think the Butcher's the CIA.
I
You got to
guess, but
that I thought that, but you got to
dude was
think.
in plain sight.
But you got to think like Butcher didn't see him up to that point. He was just getting ready to do his attack, and if Butcher didn't see him, they would have never saw him if Butcher didn't see him. And that, you got to think like Butcher's just aware of his surroundings. I just attribute that to Butcher's skill is equal to Black Noir because they're both secret agents.
That's fair.
So that's that. I get that Ari shirt because I almost wrote that down, but I was just like, I'm gonna attribute that to Butcher being a good agent. But that's all I got on the boys, man. Solid week this week. Super solid week.
All right. Well, that wraps up everything for this episode. Loving the shows that we got going on. We'll try and get back to Avatar next week. More Lovecraft and the boys. No movie.
So we'll be back to Avatar next week, especially since there's no movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But we got our run it back. We might as well announce what it's going to be. It won't be next week. It'll probably be the week after. We're going to do Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's what won the polls. So y'all be sure to check out Goodfellas and Pulp Fiction until then. Y'all can also watch Scott Pilgrim versus the World on Netflix to get ready for our run it back. But that'll be out not this upcoming week, but the next. But if you're hearing this, our Ghost in the Shell run it back anime is out. You can check that out. That's out now on our YouTube, as well as the most recent episode of the Bros Who Think podcast and Anime Talk. All of that's out right now, but definitely Ghost in the Shell, the anime, the 90s version is out now. Me and Chris have reviewed that, but you can follow me at LinBWT, follow the Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think, and be up to date with all the content we got dropping on the YouTube and on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts. But
definitely check all that stuff out. I'm excited about Scott Pilgrim. We talked before about how they got that 2D animation video game coming out.
I'm definitely gonna play that.
And also in the video games / movie world, the new Harry Potter open world game coming out. That was pretty dope.
I was arguing with my friends for hours. Some of us said it would be dope. Some of them were like, nah, this is gonna be trash. I was like, do you not understand that if you get to go to your school, become a wizard, go catch monsters outside, fly dragons, fly hippogriffs, and fight dementors and fight evil wizards, that's amazing. Like, it's gonna be a great game.
Like, I feel like it's gonna be like Skyrim, but with Harry Potter.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I feel the same way. I'm hyped for that. That's gonna be good.
Like, if it gets like too much where you have to do things a certain way, then I guess it would be bad. But like, if it's like, if I can go to Hogwarts, get sorted into whatever house,
and then you do whatever you want.
Hopefully it's not your choice. Like, hopefully you take some kind of quiz or something.
That's what I was thinking. Or like how you build your character is how you get sorted.
Yeah, because like I don't want to choose, because like I feel like that's like cheating. Or maybe like if you choose, like it sends you down different paths, or like when you get like the option, it's like, okay, if you choose Gryffindor, then like you get this bonus powers or so,
Or when you play Skyrim, when you choose like intelligence or strength, or like based upon I think it's gonna be something like that, like based upon how you build your wizard, then you get sorted based upon how you built him or whatever. Like so
I think
that's gonna be a cool game.
That just gives me another reason to get PS5.
PlayStation 5, baby. I'm getting it. I'm gonna be there.
Was it
opening night?
Like $700?
It's $499. I think.
But I need the one with the disc.
That's the disc one, I think. I think it's $499 for the disc, because I'm getting the disc one too. I can't get the digital. The digital's $299. Let's see PlayStation prices. Even though this isn't the place to talk about this, but we're already here, so. $499 for the $499 for the disc, $399 for the digital. So
all right,
I can do $499 for a disc. That's not bad.
Well, I'm gonna sell the PS4 and the Xbox One, so
the Xbox
hopefully
One
that'll give me
like no money.
Well, I'm hoping together that'll give me like $200.
Oh, easy, yeah, that could do that. Maybe even $300 if you sell some games.
Maybe $250.
Yeah, so. But tell the people they can find
Right.
you at, bro.
You can find me at AShuber14 on Twitter and Instagram, and just check out everything that we got going on. I'm excited for us to get talking about sports on Bros Who Ball and Bros Who Think this week, because it's
Big week.
been a big week of sports. Crazy injury week in the NFL. It's gonna
No preseason,
ruin a
no
lot of our
OTAs. That's why.
fantasy teams in the coming week, and also basketball heating up. You know, your boy, Lyndon's boy or not boy, AD coming in the clutch. So I want to know what he has to say about that on
Trash.
Thursday.
Super trash.
But everyone out there, I hope you have a great week, and go and watch some of the stuff that we've mentioned on the show, and catch up on some of the things like The Boys and Lovecraft. So I hope everyone out there stays safe if you're in this tropical storm range, or even on the East Coast, or wherever you're at.
If you're in the fires.
In the fires, if you're in some areas battling corona, because we still got a pandemic going on. So everyone stay safe, enjoy the content, enjoy the sports, and as always, keep binging.